Hello everybody, this is Saint the Gamer, and today we're going to be going over this week's race, which is the Stargazer Gecko. This is a 30-minute race with a series of work orders, so it's going to be pretty exciting. I always really like the Gecko class. This is the first major class introduced into the game, and it's one I got used to pretty fast.
Credits deposited.
Let me see about turning down the music's volume a little bit, just so you guys can hear me a little better.
Airlock pressure levels dropping. Airlock pressure levels increasing. Air pressure level decreasing. Air pressure level decreasing. Air pressure level decreasing.
Excellent. Okay. You've aired out the entire ship. What's interesting is the Stargazer class has a lot more coolant than any other class in the game. I wonder, I never really known why that is. I guess it's just a design choice, but it's kind of cool, I guess. Okay. I'm starting to have these pieces coming apart, so let's come down here.
Salvage deposit accepted.
Let's try to be a little more careful with the others to make sure we don't break another one. Looks like good there.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Looks like something else might be holding those on. Oh, this one is probably the heat sink. Yep, there we go.
Processing valuable object. Credits awarded.
And over here, let's see what's holding this one on. Oh, it also has a heat sink. Okay. That is one issue I do have with the Stargazer class, is that it does seem like a lot of the parts stick together, that there's a couple whole pieces back here that can stick together as well. That I don't think that they're supposed to be doing that, but maybe they are supposed to be doing that, and that's just supposed to make it a little more difficult. Whatever the case. That is my one complaint with the Stargazer class.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded. Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
Have to be a little bit careful on the top here,
Salvage
because
secured.
we
Credits
don't want to hit those
deposited.
fuel tanks at the back. Please let me out. Thank you. All right.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
Caution. Tether supplies running low.
Now there is a lot of aluminum here on the top of the ship. Aluminum, however, is not worth very much, and so it's typically not worth taking the time to pull off of the nanocarbon.
Salvage deposit accepted.
There we go.
Credits transferred.
Oh nope, that one's gonna pop
Warning.
off.
Tethers
What a
depleted.
bummer. I hate how the end of the tether sometimes pops around a little bit. Doesn't quite go in the place where you put it.
Object not accepted. Please revisit your training.
It's a little frustrating, but what can you do? Oh, that one's gonna die. There we go.
Deposit not accepted. Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited. Salvage secured. Account credit applied. Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Since that one already came off anyway, why not salvage it? I'd never tether
Salvage
the
deposit
antennas
accepted.
because they're so
Credits
freaking
transferred.
fragile that if you tether them, that's essentially right, then they will die. And they'll end up just having to scrap it normally, and that's a huge pain. So, antennas are one of the few items I absolutely never tether for that specific reason.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Even though the communications array and the sensor array are both going to the barge, we're
not
trying to put them apart anyway, because if they're connected, then it's only going to register one or the other, and I want it to register both.
Salvage secured. Credits
Now
deposited.
these are the pieces down here where they are connected to the rear part of the hull. And I'm not sure if this is a bug or an intentional design choice. See, it feels like an intentional design choice, but I don't know. Whatever the case, we're going to try and correct that, just to make it easy on us for salvage. That's not gonna break through anything sensitive, neither will this one then.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
Warning. Oxygen reserves are critical.
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
Oxygen level stabilizing.
Sometimes the nose of this ship gets stuck, and this is an issue with the geckos in general. The noses of the ships tend to get stuck a lot, and so there's not a great way to fix that, unfortunately. They say if you pull off these computers that it'll sometimes help, but it's hit or miss.
Electrical damage.
Yeah, you can see it's just kind of hanging out there. We're going to leave that there for now. We'll go back and we've pulled the computers out, so we'll just go back and finish that up as soon as the nose has been pulled off one way or the other. This last cut point is always a huge pain in the ass. There we go.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
There we go. Excellent. Okay. Thought the tether was going to die there for a minute. I wanted to make sure I didn't lose it by accident. Alright, so
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
we've pulled all of those. Now it is time for us to go ahead and pull the fuel. Once we've pulled the fuel off of the walls, that's going to decrease the total mass on the walls of these rear hull pieces, which is going to enable us to go ahead and pull them back.
Credits awarded.
Now we're going to let these tethers do their work as we go ahead and look at our work orders. Now the fuses aren't worth anything, so we're not going to grab those. We're just going to go ahead and pull the power generator. I normally only grab the fuses when there's a work order for them. If there's not a work order, it's not worth doing.
Credits deposited.
It bugs me that this nose hasn't come off yet. Now we do have a furniture work order. The best place to fulfill that order is here in the crew quarters. Why didn't it cut over here? There we go. Alright, once you cut every side, you're going to need to take off this bed along with these chairs in order to get these panels to release. Looks like we might have to cut this here too. What is holding that on there? Good lord. There we are.
Caution. Tether supplies are low.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
I just realized I was pressing the wrong button. Totally my bad. Need to be going forward, not up. That probably just lasted a good 10 seconds, which is a killer on these race runs, but what can you do?
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Now the mattresses just go to the furnace and they're not worth very much, so don't make a huge deal about getting them if you don't feel like it. It's, I mean, it is what it is. Any scrap is good scrap, but I mean.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited. Salvage secured. Account credit applied. Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Alright, there is our furniture work order.
Salvage secured.
Oh, I must have
Credits
tethered that to
deposited.
itself by accident. No, I tethered them together. They just didn't pop off. That's weird. Oh, good.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
The nose of the ship finally
Warning.
came off.
No tethers remaining.
Welcome to Venditron 9000. Thank you for your purchase.
Tethers restored.
Thank you for your purchase.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied. Salvage secured. Credits deposited. Salvage secured. Account credit applied. Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred. Salvage secured. Credits deposited. Salvage secured. Account credit applied. Salvage deposit accepted.
Beautiful.
Credits
Okay.
transferred.
We've also seen the back of the ship come off a little bit. Didn't come off not quite as much as I was hoping, but we should still be able to. No, that didn't come off at all. Holy crap. Okay. Because we can't turn off the fuel, we do have to pull this back a little bit just to be able to get the thruster out without dragging the ship. And if there were a place where I could make these tethers longer, I would, but there's really not a great way to do that and still pull it directly backwards. They're not connected, so they should be getting. Oh, there we go. That's what was stopping it from getting pulled backwards. Okay. Nice thing about pulling this out like that is that it's also going to give us enough room to be able to get the fuel out here, so we can start punting that over to the barge.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited. Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Alright, let's go ahead and cancel those tethers. Now we can start pulling these pieces up.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Caution.
Let's go make
Tether
sure that this
supplies
is
are
cut
low.
apart. That's a tip that the some of the other racers pointed out, is that if you put a fourth tether onto one of the jacks, it helps to ensure that the piece that you're dragging does not end up in the furnace. That is a danger, especially when you pull these back as far as I do on races. That you sometimes will lose a piece to the furnace, and that really sucks. So you want to try and avoid that if at all possible. Okay. The reason I cut this furnace piece in half is because there is usually, and I have to double check to make sure that this is the case, but there's usually stuff on the other side of that panel that is connected to it that'll make it to where it won't pull out. At the moment, I'm not concerned with grabbing the other stuff. I'm concerned with getting the ECU.
Welcome to Vendatron 9000. Thank you for your purchase. Thank you for your purchase.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited. Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
What happened to the big piece? I didn't see it going. That's weird. Okay. We'll just have to deal with it later, I guess. Okay, the ECU is now disconnected. And we can go and send it down there. And cut this coolant pipe.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
The reason we're cutting these two aluminum bars off is to make it easier to pull the reactor, and as soon as we have the reactor down and into the let's see, the last things we're going to work on is the reactor and the two thrusters.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
And then we're going to go ahead and call it a shift. Mainly because we're coming up to our 30-minute time limit, and we want to see if we can still snag a decent amount of time bonus, if at all possible.
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
Okay. Okay, now this is a little bit dangerous just because there's a chance that the reactor could arc and set off the fuel. We're just going to have to hope that's not the case. Oh, yep, there it goes.
Work order is complete.
Oh, hey, the thrusters are still alive, so we're going to go ahead and pull those back. If we can save even one of them, it will be $500,000 more. And we did. Okay, so that's pretty exciting.
Account credit applied.
So not quite as good as we were hoping, but hey, you know what? It's good effort, good effort. So that is going to be our shift. So we got all of our work orders. We got an 18% time bonus for a total of 53%. That puts us up at 15.2 million, which puts us up in the number 4 slot right now. That's pretty freaking fantastic. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day.